Last time in Final Fantasy XIV? A chance to make amends. To lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow, for the debt I owe to Hydaelyn and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. And now, let's continue. It would seem she still has some pride after all. Let's see if she is as good as her word. I confess my heart was in my throat when Estinian fought to berate her, but it appears to have had the desired effect. It won't make up for what she suffered at the hands of man, but if there's a chance we can free her, truly free her, we owe it to her to try. While Proxies have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Allagans kept a detailed record on all their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of our shackles. I know Alphinaud and Serenia here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of his star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step toward a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you're not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah yes, we're familiar with it. The Ferrochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Orianji and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and the transference of not only memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines, and so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the notes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood, and armed with that spirit vessel, I posit they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Alphino. I would rather leave these Allagan contraptions to you and Alphino. Let's split up and search for a flagship for a node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, no less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we learn what we can, we should reconvene and compare nodes prior to proceeding. These nodes, or whatever it is you call them. Why do I quiver so? Odorous note.
Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical level. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance.
Clamorous note.
Blip, bloop. Warning. Scheduled Dragon restraint maintenance due in minus 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release.
I realize I said this before and on more than one occasion, but I never cease to be amazed by Allagan technology. Amazed and disturbed. So where is that other note? Up there! Obstreperous note.
Data link with data quadrant broken. Possible cause intruder interference. Advise deployment of automated combat units. Proceed.
Where's he now? I'm afraid Asini and I have little to show for effort. Did you find anything? I found a way to activate mechanical sentries if that's any help. Only if you're willing to lead us to the node we seek, which I somehow doubt. But from what I recall of a flagship's design, the node you found could facilitate communications throughout Azizla, so we may yet find a use for it. A chirruping note would spontaneously warn me about neglecting the dragon restraints. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But when you were in possession of a spill vessel, my dare say it's indeed the note of which Gaha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. As I suspected, the note will not acknowledge my authority to issue its instructions. Bleep, do you wish to operate dragon restraint mechanisms? You do not have the required access privileges. Operation of dragon restraint mechanism may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of a royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps?
User detected commencing biometric authentication. Bloop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of a royal family. Please state your name.
Serenian.
Welcome, Serenia. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error, unable to disengage restraint of a specimen Tiamat. A system upgrade is required.
A system upgrade? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I could hazard a guess.
Well, that's more than I can say, confounded the bloody things.
User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship.
So, can this thing release the restraints or not?
It can, but only once it's received the required system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it will float their spewing nonsense.
User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop. I'm here to help. Rest assured that I'll be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process.
How gratifying, but I guess that we'll fare better with guidance than without it.
Bloop. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please.
Let's see. According to the terminal, the central console system is presently employing software version 56135. They ask which version you are employing. Why, software version 42002, of course. Yep, warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. That is rather longer than we're hoping. Are there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Blue, the proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of a system update and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link per once I'm ready to release the shackles. Might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. May it have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Graha once this is over. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there's something I would know. When Tiamat and their kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of Yassians. It was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Yassians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times that you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. So I must ask, what do you intend to do with Daniel? Will you try to reach out to him too? Certainly, after I wiped that smile off his face. I'd rather put my lance through his heart and be done with it. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Isard. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend a hand of friendship only to wish you had dealt a killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alvino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others.
Releasing Dragon's restraints may result in specimen loss, damage to facilities, and incineration of staff.
Estine told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere? Well, that sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to Notes, Grant and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that the ethereal balance leans strongly toward the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulties lie in the sheer quantity of air with which we must contend. Multiple applications of a treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning, I'll need all the air I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic, namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it might very well. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk, it's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alvino to disengage restraints ethereal dampers. I'm counting you, Angelo. Such warmth. The frost that shrouded my soul has begun to fall. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the man of Allag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring a soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. So when she trusts you, speak to her. Ask her to tell you of past times. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved, would for the peace you found in Meracidia could have lasted an eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked, and it was their behest that the man of Allag first came into Meracidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took swing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mercidia by the children of man. For many years it passed before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of a Shalian scholar, Burusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear, if only she were with us to hear a tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. The children of man arrived on our shores. No foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept a distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time, they knew peace and prosperity. But as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, soon they began to cover the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife. Until one day, they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of man, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the man of Allagan slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorry, heeded the envenomed words of the Astians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you're free, we'll rid the world of the Astians together. You and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for a vote of confidence. I swear when this is over... Keep going, Alice. The magic is working. Slowly but surely, the magic is working, aided no doubt by the memories you bade her share. But I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close, I can feel it. We've only got a few more drops of aether left to give. With yours and Grahas, this will work. And I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go.
No. I'm almost there. This is it, Angelo!
Yes, I can feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Answer me this, children of men. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
Urianje, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
I'll be fine. Plenty of time to recover on the airship. While I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Sirens first, before we face demands no less. With Luna Bahamut bound for Pagalfan, Grad Tia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ulda at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. If you're worried about me, don't be. I got some rest during a flight and now I'm ready for anything. First, the spate of abduction is now an attack on the Amalja homeland. What do the Telefoi aim to achieve with all of this? As I'm sure you recall, Ironbite and Fodorla were bound for Pagalfan. I pray we have not come into any harm. By happy coincidence, Cry and I were in the process of concluding our inquiries when news reached us of Luna Bahamut's return. There's much to discuss, but it will have to wait. Of a foe we face, we know but little. Though time be of the essence, we must not stint on our preparations, lest our haste to fly to the aid of the Amalja costs us our best chance of victory. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say the Telefoi have other plans. Pagalfan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarapine at the head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. Good to hear that Ulda has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandon them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Your Grace, Marshal Tarapine has made provisions for the exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of the intervention. Nor is Ulda alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagalfan. Yet, even as our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunadrak, Bahamut, and the Draconic Horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as they may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Luna Bahamut, none of the Amaljas show any signs of tempering. Strange, what primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so? Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Luna Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could find him, and Serenia and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Luna Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of a science, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming that you're ready to take the field. An airship awaits you to bear you to the front. Place it forth as soon as you're able. I meanwhile shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless you and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I for one am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Arenwald and Fordola are in Pagelfan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship then. That's the wonder. I've attended to Thancred's ammunition and completed my own preparation. I trust thou canst say the same of thine. Try as I might, I cannot fathom why the Telephoi would move to attack via Mulger. If Daniel's objective is death and destruction, one of the city states would surely have been a better target. No, they have some other agenda. One encompassing the recent abductions, perhaps? Do you think Astinia and Tiamat have already... Do you think Astinia and Tiamat have already reached Pagelfan? But I should know better than to speculate on the whereabouts of the Azure Dragoon. Forgive me. It's not impossible that the Telephoi redirected some of the troops stationed at the tower to the front line. If so, this may well all turn out to have been to Arenwald and Fordola's benefit. Given what we know, some, or perhaps even all, of the Imperial soldiers may have been tempered. If we can subdue them, we should be able to do something about that, but they would still see us as enemies even then. That said, they wouldn't be deaf to reason, which is better than nothing. So the Telephoi have constructed buildings capable of tempering and primals which are not. What secrets are they hiding? Greetings, we've been expecting you. But say the word and we shall depart for Pagelfan at once. Pagelfan now accessible. I believe that is a dungeon. Yep, it's a dungeon. We will deal with that next episode. Until then, I am Ace, and don't get lost.